Alrighty everybody, today we're working on the FireBird headlights, and before Bear and I started the YouTube channel, we had the FireBird, bought that in 2015, and I believe in 2016 I swapped it over to HID headlights, and they haven't been totally trouble-free, as you can see, but they have been much better than the original halogens. So what we had the issue was last night coming home from church, I noticed that my bulb was out on the left side here, so since I haven't done a video of doing that swap, there's a couple things that you have to do to make it work right because of the connections. So we're going to go ahead and cover what it'll take to do a HID swap on a 93 to 97 Pontiac FireBird. And it's kind of similar, I'm sure, to some like Jimmy's and S10s. So what we've got is I went with this Op 7, and it may be bad. I've got some corrosion in here that popped up. Here's the plug that came from the car. I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyways, we do have a new new bulb, and from what my box says, we've got a, here it is right here. These are H4 bulbs. And this is a 4x6 headlight unit that will take the H4 bulb. We'll take your screwdriver here, wherever I put it. You undo these, you can twist out the headlights. So it's not really that much of an issue. What you have to modify the metal buckets a little bit in the headlight, but it's not too bad. But it does take a little time, a little ingenuity. I went with the halogen high beams on this, and the high beams have their own wire here that goes to the power. This will be on the car side that gets powered, but there are some differences, and we'll talk about part of that. You can't plug it in just like this and expect it to work. So here's what you gotta do. Here, right here is the high beam connection. This has to be connected manually, at least for what I'm doing right now, manually to the original car harness to the high beams, and then usually I tape it or protect it from the elements, but usually just electrical tape. And but that ground for the high beams can still go to your ground on your original harness. Alrighty, so we hooked everything up just to try it, and I've got a different ballast here. So it looks like, and the light's shining pretty well, everything connected there. So it looks like this ballast seems to have been the issue. So there's some corrosion there. I don't know if we can clean that up and make it work or not, but that's the issue. But while we're here, this needs to be modified a little bit. We've trimmed in here just a smidge to make room for the larger base here, and just to make it a little bit roomier for that, but it's still a little bit of a tight fit. So here's your plug. Now originally, more than likely, this is what you're going to see. Here's your original harness right here, and you can go inside and rearrange these your wires here. And the green was for your high beams. So thankfully, we can hook this right here and then tape it, and it works correctly. So for your base, you got your black wire here, and then this brown tan wire. That's your power. So, and normally I'll take a zip tie and wrap this together to make sure it doesn't vibrate. And then I'll just hang everything kind of loosely right in this general vicinity just to keep it from moving. So with this different ballast, I'll have to figure out a little different trick with the size that this is. But we should be able to get it to work. So not that difficult, but it does take a little time. I think it's worth the effort though. So we're gonna try to reroute these wires, get everything back in, and we'll go from there. Yeah, but there it is. I'll plug these other wires in, let you see the high beam. There are two wires connected here, and then once we put this back together, I'll just tape it. And then there's your high beam. And I did that just in case, because the HIDs are kind of finicky, and I thought, well, hey, this is a cheap way to always have light, something burning. Alrighty, so we got it running and got it all back together. Seems to be working correctly. Not running right today for some reason. Kind of sounds sick. Not sure what it is. But we got our wires tucked away right here. And you wouldn't think it, but all this wire right here seems to be pretty free and working correctly. And then we've got the ballast right down there. Kind of some exterior tape so it stays in place and not moving around, rattling. So we'll see how it does.